We're going to talk a little bit about spiritual discipline. Spiritual discipline, you could also put that space of just self discipline here, but it's a place where we actually take time to sit in frequency or that abstract space before making decisions, allowing new guidance to come through, and really starting to live our life outside of programming. Spiritual discipline is the ability to have resilience where maybe in the past you would have given up and allow space for things to realign. And in that realigning, whether it is taking action or the discipline to actually be still and do nothing until things open up in order to take action, is all examples of spiritual discipline. When we base our decisions or we live our life through our programming, we most often experience life through our emotional programming or even that space of trigger reactions to life. We all know what this feels like. And when we start to use spiritual discipline, it opens up that space for us to shift from the programmed body into the quantum body or that higher operating system, your divine molecular technology. When we start to interact consciously with our divine molecular technology, spiritual discipline becomes a way of life. For me, spiritual discipline is always where I go when I recognize that I've moved into my programming. So, whether that is a triggered emotion, a thought, or a behavior that I recognize that is not at my highest good, I know in that moment it's time to take a pause. And in that pause, I ask, give me resilience. Allow me to tap back into the frequency that is beyond my programming. And by asking that, I am activating a frequency for my consciousness to go into experience. A lot of times, I will even have to go to a place where I'm just asking for strength and stamina, because a lot of times I know what the right thing to do is going to be, but I have trouble not going into old behaviors because maybe there's fear. Maybe your body's releasing chemicals because it knows you're trying to create a change. This is a lot of times when we start making decisions that are based on our programming instead of staying in the frequency of our divine operating system. It's a lot less comfortable when we start to use spiritual discipline, because being in the uncomfortable means we're not in our programming. We're not experiencing life through our distorted operating system. We have to remember that the collective, most people are living through a distorted operating system. So just having the ability to hold awareness in what is beyond just what is being told to us, just what we are experiencing, even on the higher levels of how we're supposed to treat our bodies and how do we go to the doctor? Do we go to all of these different things? There's so much information out there that it can be really easy to get sucked in to somebody else's story or a distortion of the story. And when we start to live through self discipline, we allow space to allow our unique operating system, our heart space to guide our beliefs, our faith, and eventually we get to a space of knowing. So those three steps are a huge part of self-discipline, because we always want to be living our life from a place of embodiment, not because of something we read, not because of something we heard on a podcast, not something that a friend told us and that we had some sort of agreement to. We want to base our life from that place of knowing. And when we know something, and I'm talking you know it because you had the experience, you have embodied something. So let's talk a little bit about what this is going to look like. So in the beginning, maybe you get excited about something. And so you pay attention. Okay, I I'm going to agree to this. This feels right to me. This is an avenue that I feel like I want to explore a little bit. And then you're going to go to a place of, right, okay, is this something that I believe in? Does this feel good to my heart? And if it's a belief or it feels good to your heart, then that's step one. Okay, so step two is that you can kind of move even from a place of believing to once you start to take the action towards whatever it is that you're experiencing, creating, whatever the guidance is here. Maybe it's so something of, okay, I believe that I'm supposed to eat organic. Okay, perfect. But move past that. We don't want to just create behaviors based on something that we just believe. We want to shift it all the way to a place of embodiment because then our body starts to operate on a cellular memory of the intelligence that's based in that belief. It's holding a frequency so that our body is actually receiving that belief from a place of purity from your higher operating system. So your entire multidimensional body is working through that belief. But we have to move from belief to faith or that place of surrender. So we may believe it at first. And then we move to this place of like, okay, this isn't just a belief anymore. This is something that I full heartedly agree to, but it's not something that I have to think about. It's a feeling in my body. This is a place of faith. Think about what it is to have faith in something. So I have faith that eating organic is going to make my body healthier, or is I'm going to experience more health by eating organic. And maybe this is a silly example, but you see where we're going with it. Then, after you process that, your body starts to embody what it is to eat organic is making your body healthier, or your body feels better eating organic. Then you're going to move into the embodiment level. And that's without a doubt that you know that eating organic is creating a healthier body for you. Then what happens is that, let's say you meet a friend and you both go out to eat, and there's organic choices and there's inorganic choices, and you're choosing to eat organic, and your friend maybe says, there's studies out that are saying that blah, 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 that organic isn't actually helping your body. But because you've fully embodied that, and your system, your divine operating system, is releasing that frequency, and your consciousness is fully integrated into that frequency, you don't care what the other person says, and you don't even have to defend it. You simply say, this is a choice that I've made and it feels good to me. So I'm going to continue to make that choice. You don't have to come back with all of the reasons, all the studies that are showing otherwise. You don't have to defend yourself. You're just expressing that frequency. And because you're speaking through that frequency, and your body is actually holding that frequency as you're speaking, your friend may receive that frequency and maybe open up in perspective. It may be that your friend just backs down and just orders what they want, but it's going to change your interactions with people that maybe believe differently. And this isn't about getting people to believe what you believe. This is about, again, making a choice and then choosing self-discipline all the way through until you get to the place where it's fully embodied and your body is holding a frequency. Your consciousness has integrated into that frequency and you're having the experience. And so when you speak through experience, it not only makes you feel amazing because you're in integrity, you're speaking from a place of that divine knowingness. You're making your choices and you're following through on those choices from a divine knowingness. And then organically, your reality, your relationships begin to change. So this is just one example of self-discipline, and you can see maybe it's not eating organic, but you can see how if you go through this stage, these 3 stages, and you ask for help, you hold the resilience, and you go all the way through until it's embodied, allowing the intelligence of the divine to guide you all the way through, that you can create some amazing changes in your life. All right, everyone, sending you so much love as you begin to practice those 3 stages of self discipline, moving beyond emotion into a space where you're allowing the divine to fully guide your life. Sending you so much love.